Hi, this week I want to talk a little bit about making the most of your grocery budget. So that is a big question that I get when I work with people is how am I going to eat better and stay in my budget? In case you haven't noticed, the price of food has gone through the roof lately. And healthy food is no exception. But let me just give you three tips that I use with people, and I think they'll help. The number one thing I would say is, first of all, start between your ears and have a little attitude adjustment, and don't just think in terms of cost when you have a grocery budget. Think in terms of value. What what are you purchasing? And you might have a little conversation with your spouse or yourself or whoever does the budgeting and say, look, we need to increase this budget if it's possible so that we can eat and feed our family better food. So having said that, I understand that there are budgets and people need to live in them, and one of the best ways to honor your budget is to just use every penny you have in a way that reflects your values. So, meaning that if eating healthy is important to you, you will see it with what makes it into your grocery basket. So, if I have, say, $200 a week as my grocery budget, and I I commit that to eating the best way I can. That's all you can do. If what you got is $200, that's what you got. But use it wisely. If you say you're committing to eating healthy and then you're buying chips and you're running through the McDonald's drive-through and all that other stuff, then what you'll notice is that there is room for improvement just by changing what you're doing. A lot of people really underestimate too the expense associated with running through drive-throughs and picking up quick convenient stuff. Whereas if you are on a really tight budget and you just say, I'm just going to cut out the junky snack stuff and feed our family good healthy meals, that has such a good impact on not only the budget but your health too. Like, hey, we're just getting rid of a lot of the snacks. I'm going to have 3 meals available for us every day and they're going to be healthy, and we're not going to have a lot of snacks between meals. That will save a lot on your budget too. So number one is like mindset, and I feel like we have to start there because that's true with everything. If you if you can't get on the right page in your brain and see it and commit to it, then it's hard to do it. Number two is leverage what you can from local discount stores. So I'm in a small town, and we have 11,000 people or whatever, and so we don't have a big Sam's or a Costco, and but they're like an hour away. So I can go up there if I need to. And there are some things that are less expensive to buy in bulk, but not everything is. So check your prices. Be a savvy shopper. Get your calculator out and say, okay, just because I bought 10 of them doesn't mean I'm necessarily getting a deal. There are some things that are a good deal to buy like that and some that are just not. So know what you're doing and what you're getting. And if you have those stores close to you, utilize them. But what I'm thinking about in my town, and this, you probably have one of these close to you, is Aldi's. That is a place where I get a lot of really inexpensive, high quality things. I buy all my avocado oils there. I can get them in a glass bottle for $6.99 a jar, and it's twice as much as at a lot of other places. So things like that. I can get organic eggs for $2.50 a dozen. I can get now. I will preface this with, I love to support my local farmers and my local health food store. So whenever I can, I do things there. But sometimes it's just not in the budget to spend the higher, to pay the premium prices, or I can't get to a farm to get my eggs or something like that. And so just know that there's a lot of really good deals if you look for them at places like Aldi's and even Walmart. They move a lot of produce through there, so I find that their produce is really fresh because they're moving it faster than a lot of people. So just know how to take advantage of those discount stores. What I do is I make a list every week of what I'm looking for, and then I'll go through Aldi and see what I can find, and what I can't get, then I'll get somewhere else. But that saves me actually a lot of money. And then my third hack for healthy eating is to stretch your grocery budget as much as you can. So that means leveraging leftovers, using the whole whatever it is that you're buying. So like chicken, if you cook a whole chicken, not only can you have a meal one night for dinner, but then you stick it in a pot, you boil it down, you make bone broth out of that, and then you've got the extra meat. You think there's nothing left, but there's enough to make a soup or a stew or something like that. Also, things like chilies and soups and things like that, those are all inexpensive ways to stretch a budget. You can use beans, which are super good sources of fiber and some protein in there in chilies and soups, and use a little less meat, and that'll cut your budget. Now, having said that, there are some people that don't do beans because they're really high in carbohydrate, and maybe they are following a special diet, because that's what I do with people too, is special diets, and sometimes that won't work. But for if you're healthy and you're just trying to have a good healthy diet for your family, small amounts of those things are healthy and good. So put a lot of veggies in there, because it produces a lot of bulk, and they'll fill you up without causing a lot of expense or calories. So a double winner there. So I hope that that has just kind of given you some food for thought, so to speak, of how you can be a great steward of your budget and really eat well too. Thank you.